So let's say you see a company and you think they're really cool to work for. What can you do to stand out and get their attention? Well, I help people with this all the time inside my platform because we show them the importance of connecting yourself to them. So the company sounds kind of cool. The first thing you should step back and say, how do you know that? Like, how do you know they're cool? If you're having some kind of reaction to them, you need to just sit in your thoughts for a minute and think, how do I know that? What life experience or work experience have I had that taught me that? Because here's the thing, folks, you can't have ooh, they're cool reaction without some sort of knowledge. And that knowledge had to come from somewhere. And so once we start to break that down, and we were never trained to do this, so once you actually start to do it, it will come pretty quickly. But you'll realize, gee, I think they're cool because of this experience in my life, or because I've learned this lesson in my life, which makes them cool. That's your connection. And it is very important as a job seeker that you start to build connections with employers right now, because employers are getting hundreds, sometimes thousands of applicants who all look the same. On paper, they all have the same skill sets, whatever it is. So the only differentiator you have is your connection to their brand. And plus, they really want to know you have a connection to the brand. You can't just say you think they're cool. You need to tell us why you learned that. Telling them that connection makes them feel something for you. And they are going to hire somebody they feel connected to. That is why so many times people get hired based on referral. Because somebody they already know who they like and trust brings that person in. So the feelings transfer. So if you don't know somebody at a company but you think they're cool, you just take a moment or two to step back and say, what's my connection? Why am I feeling that way? And what story can I tell them so that they will now get excited about me? So I just had a client do this recently, and she was able to identify that what made the company really cool was something that happened to her when she was a teenager. And that in that moment, she learned how powerful the product that this company sold was. That was her connection. So then we taught her this super cool trick. It's called a disruptive cover letter, but it's not a cover letter. That's why we call it disruptive. And we showed her how to quickly put that story together and then send it to the hiring manager and the recruiter. And guess what? Of course she got a job interview. Of course. And she wasn't even an exact match for the job, but she just told such a cool story that they were like, wow, this girl gets us. Let's have a conversation with her. And you're thinking, but why? If she didn't have all the experience for the job, why would they interview her? Because folks, they can teach you what you need to know, but they can't teach you to feel connected to them. They can't teach you to have the internal motivation to want to do the job. And right now, that's really important to hiring managers in this market. They need to know that you care in some way, shape, or form, or have some type of motivation, connection to their brand. So when you can tell that story, especially when you use our disruptive cover letter technique, because it's so cool, it ends up reading like a story. I mean, every single day people come to us inside our program and say, just got an interview and recruiter said it was the best cover letter they ever read. And you hear all the time that recruiters don't read cover letters, right? Well, yeah, they don't read the outdated kind. They do read the disruptive kind, especially when you learn how to write them and send them like we teach you. But this is my point. If you think a company's cool, you already have a story. There's something that you feel for them. It's on you to step back for a minute and think about what that is. And once you pull that out and tell that story, oof, that's when you really can wow them. I hope that made sense. Thank you for your question. Keep them coming. Go get them, folks.